Hello, everyone. This is going to be a very, very spontaneous review, actually, more of a helpful tip video. I just purchased the XTU 4G Solar Wildlife Camera. Specifically, the model number is RBX-H10, and I bought it with the intent of swapping out the SIM card. And so that's what this video is going to be about, just about swapping out the SIM card. I haven't actually mounted the camera yet. First impressions is actually pretty good. I mean, 119 Canadian dollars, even less in US dollars. Comes with a SIM card, solar panels. Actually, pretty impressed. First impressions, again, just in the testing phase. So I purchased this device with the intent of actually swapping out the SIM card. I had some SIM cards in iPads that were basically shared data plans with my main cell phone. So that was going to give me 50 gigabytes a month, as opposed to whatever the free was going to be and whatever their monthly plan was going to be. And that was only going to cost me $10 a month because I already had those SIM cards, shared data on my iPads. And I thought I could just take out the SIM card from the iPad, put it in this, and away we go. Not quite that simple, not horrible, but definitely not that simple. So what I did do is when I got it out of the box, I didn't even try the initial the installed SIM because I just wanted to get straight to troubleshooting with the SIM that I was going to be providing it, and I didn't want to set things up, get things working, and then swap SIMs and start over again. So I went to work right away to try and put in my own SIM card. And unfortunately for me, there wasn't an easy access port to get the SIM card. You can have the power supply, you have an on-off switch, you have a reset button, and you can easily get to the SD card. But to my surprise, no SIM card slot. If you go to the owner's manual, it does say that you can put your own SIM card in, but it doesn't provide any instructions. All it does is say contact support and they'll get back to you. I decided I'm kind of good with electronics, so I decided to unscrew it. 6 Phillips screws, comes apart nice and easy. And then another 4 screws to get another board out. And in taking out that board is where I realized that right next to the SIM port is an SD port. And there's actually a slot in the frame of the device so that you can remove the SIM card and easily replace it. The only thing is they have it covered with this sticker. And as soon as you remove this sticker, you can easily get to the SIM card. And I was able to confirm that because tech support did get back to me and they provided a simple video basically showing what I discovered the long way. That's just the first part. That is the physical act of replacing the SIM card. The actual setup and having it connect to your local provider wasn't a simple process. And I'm not exactly sure what I did to get it working. It might have been just a matter of time because I put in my SIM card, turned it on, had a flashing red and blue light, rapid flashing, which isn't really described in the manual. They refer to a red and blue slow flash. And finally, I just kind of left it while I was reading instructions, doing other things. And I'm not sure if it was just a matter of time, but eventually I did see the solid blue light. What would happen is I would get it to work during initial test. The camera would connect to the phone. Phone indicated that it was connected to the cellular network. And on a first try, you could see the camera and you could wave your hand and you could even use the voice prompt. And so that's why again, I can't say for sure, but I am pretty impressed by the device because the sound quality was good, picture quality was good. But as soon as you finish that initial test, so you go back out of the camera, and then as soon as you try to go back into it, you get this error that says, you do not get to watch the preview. You don't have video features without the original SIM card, which is really disappointing because, again, through that initial test, which I did 3 or 4 times because it worked and then it stopped working, is very obviously the features can work. What I will say also is the built-in SIM card actually was trouble-free. So if you are planning on just using the built-in SIM card, actually pretty impressive. Turn it on, connects to your local cellular provider, configures everything, easily connects to your cell phone, and you get all the features. But again, cost is going to be your issue. And if I recall correctly, the price that was given was $299 for 1 year of service, 12 months of service. And I think I saw 60 gigabytes perhaps. And then they had a 6-month service for $199. And again, if my memory serves, that was 40 gigs of data. And again, if you don't have an extra SIM card, I mean, I'm paying $10 a month on my SIM card to share data. That's $120 a year. So going to $199, $299, it's a premium. But if you don't have that extra SIM card and you just want the ease of trouble-free setup, turn it on and go, might be worth it for you. But again, for me, I was really hoping that I could use my own SIM card. So it looks like I'm going to have to make some compromises on my use because I'm not getting that live preview. Perhaps I'll hear back from tech support and maybe they can unlock that feature. But at $120, I'm willing to make those compromises. All right, it has been about 6 months and I'm coming to take down the trail camera. I'm going to give you the longer term review, but there's not going to be much I can say as far as quality, and that's entirely my fault, not the manufacturer's. I went from deciding I needed a trail camera to researching it, to buying it, to installing it within about 5 days. So, you know, that's my fault. And one of the criteria I had is that I wanted to be able to switch the SIM card, which is sort of a special request. Where I installed it, totally my fault. There was sort of this branch that would dip into shot every time there was wind, and it just kept triggering the camera until the battery finally died after about 3 weeks. And frankly, I'm surprised it lasted that long considering how often it was triggering the camera. Now, with that said, the manufacturer, their support was excellent. Because again, I had this special request that I wanted to install a SIM card, my own SIM card. In hindsight, the package that comes with the camera, I mean, with the SIM card that it comes installed from the manufacturer, it's basically plug and play. You turn it on, it works with the app. So for most users, you'll just pay for the package that comes with the trail camera. You turn it on, it works, and that'll be the end of it, and you'll have a lot easier time than I did. But as I said, the manufacturer's tech support was excellent. There was a bit of a delay because they're in Asia, I would imagine. So first of all, you got that time delay. They work during their business hours. They don't work on weekends at the time. And again, this is going back 6 months when I was setting it up. But what I can say is they did a great job of taking my special request to set up my SIM card. They were very responsive. They got it going. They said that, you know, I should come out here and reboot it, but that wasn't an option because it was the middle of winter. I just basically set it up and left it. But I was able to log into the camera multiple times. I tried changing the settings to lower the motion sensitivity, to change how often the cellular connected to upload photos. So you do have a few options on the app, but ultimately I just installed it in a poor place with no sunlight in the middle of winter. And just for perspective, I wasn't setting this up as like a game camera to catch wildlife. I put it up as sort of a security camera on our property. And so that's why I installed it in less than an ideal place, because I didn't want to make it too obvious or else people would just walk around it. But anyways, camera, I'd probably give it a thumbs up. Okay, back again for a third installment. After I made that video, I obviously went to take it down off the tree. And it turns out somebody did cut the wires on the solar panel charger. So I guess I did have poachers, first of all, unfortunately. We'll see if the memory card saved anything. That also means that perhaps the solar charger would have kept replenishing the battery. I assumed it didn't because I put it in a bad spot. But considering that the wires were cut, maybe the solar panel would have worked better than I thought it did. So anyways, worth trying this little device. For security, for poachers, for wildlife, whatever you need. I was happy with it while it worked.